Look, I'm seeing a lot of panic in the markets today. People are refreshing their portfolio every 10 minutes, watching red candles eat away at their gains, and asking if the big tech era is finally over. Here's what I'm doing. I'm buying. In fact, I'm looking at three specific companies: Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta. And I'm seeing a rare alignment between what I call the economic reality and the market's temporary emotional instability. The conflict we're facing right now is a battle between long-term infrastructure and short-term capex anxiety. The market is punishing these companies because they're spending billions on the future. But as a long-term investor, my job isn't to look at the next quarter. It's to look at the next decade. My thesis is simple. We're moving from the speculative phase of AI and into the synergy phase. The companies that own the digital dirt, the servers and the data centers and the distribution networks are the only ones positioned to capture the real value. Right now, the market is giving us a gift. Today, I'm breaking down why I'm ignoring the noise, why I'm setting my personal buy targets, and why I believe that being patient now will be the best financial decision I make for the next 5 years. Before we dive into the tickers, let's talk about the world we're living in. In early 2026, the global equity landscape is undergoing a massive tech reshuffle. You might have heard the term SaaSmageddon. It sounds scary, but it's actually a very logical progression. For the last 10 years, software companies made money by selling seats. You pay per person per month. But AI agents don't need seats. They just need compute. This is creating a massive divide in the sector. On one side, you have application layer victims, companies that are losing their pricing power. On the other side, you have the hyperscale infrastructure giants. That's a fancy way of saying the companies that own the cloud. The S&P 500 is hovering around 7,800. And while the median stock is finally seeing some earnings growth, the real power is concentrated in the infrastructure providers. I'm looking at the macro setup and seeing that while inflation has stabilized, the cost of building the AI brain is only skyrocketing. Only a few companies have the cash flow to actually compete. If you aren't one of those, you're basically just renting the future from them. This isn't just a tech trade. This is a bet on the new backbone of the global economy. Let's dive into the audit. If you followed my strategy, you know that I don't buy lottery tickets. I look for safety, profitability, and growth. First, let's look at Microsoft. Why am I looking at this stock so closely right now? Because for the first time in years, the AI tax has been stripped out. Microsoft is currently hovering in the low to mid-20s in terms of its PE ratio. To put that into perspective, its 5-year average is usually in the low 30s. That's a 20% to 25% discount on the world's most dominant software stack. When I look at their economic reality, I strip out the accounting noise. Yes, they are spending $40 billion on capex. To the average retail investor, that looks like lost money. To me, it's Microsoft building a toll booth on the highway of the future. Azure is expanding at 40%. The return on equity is still north of 35%. That is the definition of a high-quality security. It's safe, it's profitable, and it's growing. Next, we have Amazon. Amazon is often misunderstood because its PE ratio always looks expensive. Compared to a bank or a utility, it is. It's currently in the high 20s. But look at its history. This stock has spent years trading at 50 times or even 60 times earnings. We're currently at one of the cheapest points in Amazon's valuation lifecycle. Why? Because the market is worried about margins in their retail business. I'm looking past that. I'm looking at AWS and their advertising business. Amazon's ad revenue is projected to grow 20% this year. That's high margin, pure quality cash flow. Their logistics network is a physical moat that no one can build. You can't disrupt 1 million delivery vans and thousands of warehouses overnight. Finally, Meta. Meta is the efficiency king. After 2022, Mark Zuckerberg turned this company into a lean, high-yield cash machine. It's trading at roughly 22 times earnings, which is right about its historical median. But the Meta of today is a much higher quality than the Meta of 5 years ago. They're effectively debt-free. Their ad impressions are up nearly 20%. They're taking the junk out of their own business model and replacing it with high-margin AI-driven ad targeting. I do want to pause for a second and talk about one thing that I notice with younger investors. There is a lesson here about emotional arbitrage. Most people think about investing as being smarter than the next guy, having a faster computer, or a better spreadsheet. It's not. It's about being more patient than the next guy. Right now, the market is impatient. It wants AI profits tomorrow morning. Because those profits are taking a few quarters to show up, people are selling. This is where you build real wealth. Risk management isn't about avoiding stocks that go down. It's about knowing exactly what you own so that when the price falls, you have the courage to buy more. I'm setting my personal targets not because I think the bottom is in today, but because I know the value of these businesses. If you want to stop being a momentum trader trying to ride the hype to a long-term wealth builder, you have to stop fearing volatility and start using it as a tool. If the price drops another 10%, I'm not crying, I'm shopping. That's the mindset of a long-term investor. Now, getting back to the analysis, to be sure about these three, we have to look at the junk side of the equation. Why buy Amazon, Microsoft, and Meta when you could buy the next big thing? Look at a company like Snowflake or even Salesforce. These are great companies, but they are application layer players. They're currently struggling with the SaaSmageddon I mentioned earlier. Their growth is slowing because their customers are wondering if they can't just replace those expensive software seats with an AI agent. They don't have a moat of owning the underlying cloud infrastructure. Compare Amazon to Walmart. Walmart is a fantastic business, but it is a low-margin retail play. It doesn't have a 30% margin cloud engine fueling its research and development. When you compare our top three to their peers, you realize you aren't just buying big tech. You're buying the landlords of the internet. Everyone else is just a tenant. And in a recession or a period of high volatility, I'd much rather be the landlord. Now, as always, it wouldn't be a thorough analysis if I did not tell you why I could be wrong. Could these go to zero? Or, more realistically, why could they underperform? The biggest risk is regulatory fragmentation. Governments around the world are terrified of the power of these three companies. If Meta is forced to break up, or if Amazon's buy box is regulated into oblivion, the thesis takes a hit. There's also the CapEx black hole risk. What if Microsoft spends $100 billion on AI chips and the world decides that AI is just a cool new toy and not a fundamental shift in productivity? If the return on investment on AI doesn't manifest by 2027, these companies will have a lot of expensive bricks laying in a data center. We have to respect that risk. This is why I don't put 100% of my money into one stock. I'm buying quality, but I'm still diversifying. So, here's what I'm doing personally. These are my specific targets for accumulation. For Microsoft, my buy zone is between 400 and 415. It's currently hovering right in that range. I'm buying here because it is a massive technical dislocation, and it is way below its 200-day moving average. For Amazon, I'm looking to accumulate anything right around 200. If it falls into that range or lower, I am getting very aggressive. The valuation is simply too low to ignore for a company with that much dominance. For Meta, I'm being a bit more surgical. It's actually trading above its 200-day moving average right now. My target for a heavy buy is closer to the 580 to 610 range. I'm waiting a bit to go all in on this one, but I do have a small position now. Note that just because I think a stock is a buy, I do not always take a full position at once. I am laddering my entries. I typically keep a chunk of money invested into a standard index so that I can sell out and buy these high-quality companies whenever they do go on sale. Looking out over the next 5 years, I do expect these three companies to significantly outperform the S&P 500. The broader market is going to struggle with the transition away from legacy software. The S&P 500 might give you a standard 8 to 10% return, but because of the margin expansion I see coming for Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta, as their AI investments start to pay off, I'm personally forecasting a 15 to 18% annual return for these specific stocks. We're buying the infrastructure of the next industrial revolution. While the rest of the market is trying to figure out how to use AI, these three are the ones selling the shovels and the dirt. That's going to be it for this video. If you like this type of content or find it helpful, I would appreciate it if you would like it to help me push it out to more folks. As always, I am a small creator with limited reach, so that really does help out the channel. Also, please consider subscribing. I put out a few of these each week, and I am always open to suggestions for other stocks or topics that we may want to investigate. That said, I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.